Welcome to the sizzling world of love, lust, and laughs. And more importantly, desire. This is Desire Dialogues. Get ready to dive into an electrifying podcast hosted by yours truly. I am a passionate love guru and a relationship extraordinaire. So buckle up, folks. We are going to embark on a relationship roller coaster ride through the maze of love, desire, sex, and everything in between. Have you ever wondered why your love life feels like a lukewarm cup of coffee? Ugh. Fret not. I'm here to sprinkle in some magic dust and spice things up. As a certified sex, love, and relation coach, I have seen it all. Twists, turns, and everything beyond 50 Shades of Grey, from the woes of modern dating to the intricacies of long-term relationships. We're diving into the pool of common struggles and cravings that keep us on our toes and cravings that keep our toes curled. So join me as we flip through the pages of love, turn up the heat of passion, and discover the secret sauce to a fulfilling, spicy love life. Grab your headphones, hit that play button, and let's embark on a journey where desire, love, lust, and laughter all collide. Hey. We're going to chat a bit today about navigating sexual anxiety and unraveling that impact that it has on the performance and even climax. So, living with anxiety can throw shade on those special intimate moments. It's not just messing with the physical side, but it's also giving the emotional connection a bit of a tumble during those steamy encounters. So, researchers have done their, nosy scientist thing and found a pretty solid link between anxiety and sexual dysfunction in women. Vulva owners, vagina owners, clitoris owners. This research was done by Barlow in 1986. So, I'm always doing my podcast, and I have my human sexuality book right next to me. I love just pulling up a chapter and talking about it. It really is, sex is not talked about very often, right? I personally think that sex should be talked about just as much as food, right? The things we do, right? We eat, we shower, we sleep, we go to the bathroom, we work, all right? And then you have politics, where people aren't super sure if they want to talk about it, right? Sex seems to be even more of a, whoa, can't bring that up. Well, I do. In my family, yeah, I bring that up at dinner tables. I don't care. So let's get back to that anxiety, right? It's like our mental state is doing the cha-cha, which are mojo. Sex-related anxiety becomes this huge mental roadblock. It can stop us from going all in during those sexy moments. I mean, it can really make us obsess over those fears, which can totally hijack our attention from the good stuff, making it pretty tricky to get fully into the groove. So here's the deal. What is the deal with sex anxiety? It's like a mixtape of challenges. From dodging the sexy stuff altogether with avoidance to sweating about different parts of the whole experience. For example, just imagine it as I have my hand in the air and I'm going up and down like a roller coaster type of, if you were to look at me, it would be like the roller coaster thing. So maybe things start happening, right? So example, you're kissing. And you're like, oh my God, does my breath stink? Oh my God, my to-do list, right? So the physical intricacies, anxiety can arise when it's around our own body. And it can arise about external factors. Like the neighbors, the kids. It can also arise, in our mind with our stuff that we have to do, right? And it really is this sexy roller coaster. You want it, you feel it, and getting there, it really is all the different parts that can mess with all the different phases. And anxieties don't just stop at how we see our bodies or what we think we can do in bed. They can totally dent our self-confidence and lead to distractions, which really makes it harder to get in the zone. Also, some folks dodge this intimacy altogether, and that's that avoidance side I mentioned. And it makes things even more awkward, and like, oh boy, a sinking libido is another symptom of this anxiety thing. When we're swimming in a sea of stress, our desire for sexy time can hit rock bottom. And I know this personally. I do run 2 businesses. I run a sex toy business, all right, romance enhancement, and I also run a coaching business. And at times it's just, I was in the sea of anxiety, stress about sex, and it was really difficult, but me and my partner navigated through it, and it's okay. But when you're thinking about anxiety and how it affects your life, I want you to maybe just take note, just be mindful about, okay, well, what's popping into my mind? When it's like those little moments that take you out of it, just pay attention to what are those things that are popping up. So here's the thing, talking about it, though, it can be awkward, it can actually really help. So couples who actually skip these chats about sexy or non-sexy worries might find their intimacy hitting a rough patch because you don't feel like you're maybe heard or completely understood. And really being heard and understood and supported, even if they're not doing anything, they're just there for you. They're just hearing what's on your mind about your body, about life, about this that's affecting your willingness and ability to be fully present in sex can be a really big turn on. So guess what? Sex anxiety can mess with a big O. Yep. That mental mayhem with all those anxiety thoughts, right, can throw a big old blockade on that sexy train, and it slows down the fun. So recognizing the whole link between anxiety and sexy time is a big deal, and it can make a big difference. Just so you know, you're not alone in this wild, sexy, and sometimes anxious journey. I do this every day and help individuals and couples overcome this. This pesky anxiety around sex is so common, and it's regardless of the relationship dynamic or style or status, if you need support, I'm here. Message me, anxiety free, all right? All my contact info is in the podcast details. You can find me on all the socials. We can schedule a virtual coffee and talk some personalized solutions for you, So just know that navigating sexy time is normal, and know that these thoughts pop up. So your homework is, I love to give homework at each of every episode. So your homework is to just take note. If you're about to avoid intimacy, what is on your mind? What is it that's making you not want to do it? And then also, if you are trying to enjoy sexy time and thoughts come in, they creep on in, right? Like they do. Just take notice of those and maybe write those down after. Just reflection can really be that first step. Until next time. Thanks so much again for listening. I would love it if you follow and subscribe to this podcast. It actually helps the podcast programs and platforms be able to recognize the sexuality type of podcasts. They're not necessarily easily searchable, so it would really help other listeners like you be able to get some really fun stuff in between their ears. So feel free to share it with a friend if you think they'd be into this too and learning more about their body, desire, and things to enhance their relationships with themselves or others. Also, all of my information to connect on all the socials, to order yourself some sex toys, are all in the link in the podcast description. Thanks so much, guys. Don't forget, pleasure is your birthright, and you don't have to ask permission.